Oh, shit. Are we live? Oh. Hmm. I guess we're just gonna roll. I didn't mean to do this. Let me fix my mic. Hold on. There we go. Okay, that's better. I was listening to myself. Sorry, I didn't even mean to go live. I was messing with my Streamlabs and hit the live button. So I guess here we are. What's up, Ryan? Yeah, I accidentally went live. I think I'm on YouTube. I see you chatting, so apparently I'm live. Here we are. So yeah. I was messing with some settings to make a video because my mic wasn't working. And yeah, I guess we're just live now. So here we are. Well, I guess we can hang out for a little bit. What are you guys doing? Are you guys doing anything fun? I guess I could whip out the Top Step account and just like randomly put a mini on. Just get crazy. I don't know. We like the market like really isn't going anywhere, so I don't even think maybe we'll go crazy. Oh my god, hi Tyler. Hi Vinny. Oh, whole squad's pulling up in here. Yeah, Tyler, I don't know if you were here for this already, but are we dipping in gold? Let me pull up a gold chart. Yeah, I was messing with my settings. I was gonna make a video on the Gizzy Clipper, and here we are. Just absolutely accidentally live, but we ball. What is J the front month for gold right now? Here we go. Got a gold chart up. Get crazy. Let's throw the Gizzy Clipper on gold. How about that? Indicators, add indicator. Goose zones. There we go. Everything good here. Got the notification on. Man, we're still not even anywhere on gold either. That kind of sucks. Yeah, I'm definitely not drinking whiskey right now, Brian. Definitely not doing that right now. This is because we're on. I don't know if you can drink alcohol on YouTube. Not that I'm doing that right now. That'd be crazy. Let's see here. So gold's kind of not anywhere right now. Let's check on CL. Come on, it'll be fun. Top step. Yeah. It's a non-trader in the house. What's up, Anal Elite? God, NCL ain't anywhere either. Dude, this stuff just don't want to play with us right now. We're live and we ain't got no trades. Vinny has a limit buy down at 29.25, hoping to fill overnight into New York session. On gold, I'm assuming, you mean? Let me pull gold back up. Got too many gosh darn accounts. Gonna start having to liquidate some stuff. Yeah. 29, 25. I see what you're saying. You're wanting to get long down there, or you're wanting to. Yeah, you got a limit buy down there. Are you short already, or are you looking to buy down there and get long? That's the big question. It's like maybe we should just get blindly short on this thing. Like just absolutely crank our hogs on this short. Should we? Should we get short on gold right now? What would the stop even be? All right, hold on. Let me see what a stop would be. What's the size of that? 29, 30. It's like a full point stop. I'm just seeing what a full point is. Be like $100 stop. Short. Oh my god, that fill was horrible. Oh my god. The fill was horrible, but we're short one. Move our stop right up here. We're just like $120 on it. This is all on Vinny right now. This is Vinny's trade that we're in right now. If we get stopped, it's all Vinny's fault. But if we hit a banger, we're going to celebrate in Vinny's name. Crank our hogs on this thing. Yeah, Tyler, did I say that? I would never say such a thing. Never. Let's see here. I mean, Kelt lower would be like the ideal situation. Man, Vinny's buy order lines up right with our like lower Kelt also. Like that's kind of some sauce, not gonna lie. Like maybe Vinny's got something going here. Right? I mean, we're probably gonna get stopped because I mean, we're short a mini on gold and it's a Wednesday night. And this is the first time I've looked at a gold chart since like July. Vinny trades only gold. He's an only gold trader. That's interesting. You don't trade anything else? Like no NQ, ES, none of that stuff. You're just like only gold? Because that's kind of wild. I traded gold pretty heavily winter of like 23. I traded gold really, really heavy for a little bit and then started being a little weird. And then I got back into trading. I think that's about the time my love for YM started up. And then like once you fall in love with YM, like what do you like? You're just that's it. Like once you start trading YM, you can't go back. That's like where you love. But no, I do agree. Like if you can get the vibe for gold, like it's pretty gas. Let's see here. We got a nice little move down there. I'm going to go ahead and move stop to break even. And we're just going to like, it either goes for like $1,000. We're going to get break even, right? Like we're just going to be like chilling. Is it already up at 5? Spreads are garbage. Okay, let's look at the Gizzy Clipper on gold though. Just absolute gas. Just absolute gas. Look at that. Absolute gas with the Gizzy Clipper on gold. Okay. No, tough move there. See, that's a tough. I don't know if we had like. I don't even know if you would know what news moves are on gold, but that's a pretty aggressive bid up. But let's see here. Let's see here. Let's change this to oh, so that's not even like a full day. That's why. Hold on. Hold on. Let's pull up like 20 days of Gizzy Clipper data. Maybe like we got some sauce going on here. So that one obviously didn't work, but I mean like it's like turbo bid right there. Like you'd be silly to short that. I mean that's the most vertical move of anything I've ever seen in my entire life. Right here, goated in the sauce, goated in the sauce, goated in the sauce. Not well, that one's good, and then this one's bad. This is bad. Goated, absolutely goated. Probably not goated right there. Absolutely goated. 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 Not really goated, but that one's goated. Let's see here. That one works. L Riz. Goated. Man, I just don't know. So my problem with gold is I don't know what I'd use for a stop on the Glizzy, right? Like, not bad though. Not a bad situation going on with the Gliz on gold. Maybe something I should keep more of an eye on. Would keep an eye on the trade, but I feel like if I watch it, it's going to go towards my stop. 1.5 ATR. Okay. I'm going to, you know what, Vinny? This weekend, as I'm booling around and doing some charting, I'm gonna do some gold research. What I do want to pull up right now is because we got a bunch of stuff going on. Let's pull up the Goose Momentum as well. Let's see what the harmonics look like. All right, so we got some room to the downside on the harmonics. So definitely we got some room for this to move down. Brian's back. Brian, we're short on gold. Throw like 10 minis on a short because Vinny said so. If we can get down, if we can get our momentum down kind of the bottom, definitely take profit there. But right now, it's just like, it's actually where Vinny's making us so much money right now. Limit. I'll put a limit right there because I think I need $200 for it to be a valid trading day on the Express account. So this either hits and we get our first valid day thanks to Vinny. Is Anal Elite still here? I hope he is. And if you are still here, Anal Elite, I love you also. Like, we all love you. Anal Elite is like, he's such a G. Honestly, if we get paid right here, Vinny is straight up like a G. Like, let's be real. I need to pull up another chart though. We're gonna duplicate this. We're gonna go to, we'll just put that in there. Oh no. Oh wait. No, we're good. Are we good? Oh no, I hit the wrong button. Wow. I hope you all watched me do that because that was so dumb. Okay, so we need to pull up CL. We're about to get paid thanks to Vinny. I'm going to start streaming this time of the night and just have Vinny tell me what to do on gold. My goodness gracious. Okay, so CL. We're back in Tyler's territory right here. Oh my God, Anon is still here. I love you so much. So, while the Gizzy Clipper itself, like the expected ranges don't work on MCL because it's not a function of like previous day expected ranges, you know, like whereas ES and NQ are. But CL respects the Celts so heavily, so often. And like I'm so often just like totally well, I don't even know words right now. But I have a deep desire to trade like CL lately. Like it's starting to get that good type of volatility. We're towards that little bit of a bottomish of a range. We broke below 70. Like it's kind of gas and we're really close. That's going to be funny if that wicks like within a tick of our take profit and doesn't actually fill us. That'd be actually LOL. That'd be like real welcome back to the stream, folks, right? But no, I think we're about to get paid right here. Come on, gold. Come on. It's going to front run us by like a tick. That's going to be hilarious. It's going to be big LOL. Yep. Yep. Front run by a tick. Wow. That's actually a tick. It's legitimately one tick that we're going to get front run by. Well, here's the thing. I don't know. So with tariffs, with the whole tariff situation and then the Russia situation, CL is really going to be weird because if we end up like chilling with Russia in a way, I feel like that's going to end up bringing crude oil prices down because they're pretty much limited on what they can export, right? So we're missing like a lot of that Russia market outside of like China and, you know, that's pretty much it. And Germany, Germany's buying Russian oil. But like, I don't know. It's going to be a really interesting dynamic on what happens with oil here a little bit because Trump's also big into like the whole drill baby drill, but he wants cheap energy prices, which doesn't necessarily go hand in hand with drill baby drill because you need high oil prices to drill baby drill. So I don't know. It's going to be like a weird dynamic and I'm kind of waiting and I'm interested to see kind of how that's going to play out. Like are the oil prices going to be high enough to justify these oil companies spending a bunch of money to drill? Because it's expensive to drill right now. I did an economic forecast for a company like a month ago, and they wanted a comparison over stuff they drilled from 2010 all the way to now. So 2010 to 2019, the costs were like pretty flat. It was around $200 to $250,000 to drill and complete a 4,000-foot vertical well in Kansas. Now, after post COVID, the price to drill and complete a 4,000-foot vertical well in Kansas is around 450 to 500,000. So it's more than doubled what it was. And in some cases, depending on how extravagant your well is, it can be upwards of 600,000 to drill and complete a 4,000-foot vertical well in Kansas. That's not including all the horizontals and stuff you're going to get in like Oklahoma and Texas. Those are going to be upwards of like $2 million projects. Those are going to be very, very expensive. Like these 4,000-foot vertical wells are some of the cheaper oil we'll get. And we got filled, baby. Let's go. Good job. Good job, Vinny. Vinny the fish is the GOAT. Okay. I just want you all to know that Vinny the fish is the GOAT. We're going to dedicate our next stream, whenever the heck that's going to be, to Vinny the fish, because he just got us paid right there. That's our first day down in this express funded account on Top Step here. Now look at this. This is our first day. I passed this thing today. And yeah, Vinny the fish getting us just absolutely paid. Good job, Vinny the fish. So I need to crank out like 4 more days of this or something before I can like actually get paid. But starting off green on a gold haven't traded gold in like a year. Gonna just listen to some random guy on YouTube and gonna get paid like that. Maybe I just give this YouTube channel over to Vinny, honestly, and instead of banana bread trades, it's just Vinny the fish trades, and it's just me listening to Vinny in chat, just taking gold trades. Honestly, could be a dangerous duo. But yeah, where were we at? Oil price to drill for oil, like it's 2 to 3 times more. And actually, the drilling part, so the cost to drill the well is actually almost the same as it was in the 2014, 2018 era. Like that's actually not that much more expensive, or is the same price. Like because there's such a lack of drilling going on right now, these drilling companies have lowered their prices to really extremely reasonable levels. It's the everything else price that's gone like exponentially up. All your service companies, you need cement. So cement for, you run casing, you run like steel pipe down a well, and then you pump cement behind it, and that holds that pipe in place. That has gone up, I think, 4 times as much as it was just 5 years ago. And that's mostly just labor charges, because they have to charge so much for CDL drivers coming out to location. You're like, those minimum wages for like the oil field workers have gone up so much. And then all your other service companies, your acid, logging trucks, all that stuff has gone up so much. Pipe prices are still, for like your steel and stuff, like that's like 5 times more than it was. So the cost to drill for oil is so much more expensive than it just was 5 years ago, that it takes actually pretty high oil prices to justify doing any of these projects. Like I can tell you right now, Exxon's break-even oil price is probably right around the realm of $35 to $42. Anything under, if the oil price is under $40, ExxonMobil is not going to make money. If you keep that in mind, that's when you start seeing those massive layoffs, huge budget cuts, and everything. The company I worked for in Kansas, the company I worked for in Kansas probably had the lowest bottom dollar break-even price of any oil and gas company that's like of scale that you're going to see. You know, like ours was $28 or $29 oil price for that company to break even. Anything over $28, $29, the company is going to make money on the current production they have. That's not including investing in new projects. It's just on the current production they have. Exxon and a lot of those bigger production companies, they're looking more like $35, $40. And a lot of those other more aggressive companies, they're looking at probably closer to $55 oil. So when you start getting in that $60 range, like we are kind of right now, I mean, we pull up CL, we're kind of in that $60 range. The margins for a lot of these more aggressive oil companies, their margins get really thin. And yeah, Vinny, they basically never do shut off wells. 2020 was the only time that you've really seen oil companies aggressively shut in wells, just for the fact that when price was negative there for a bit and price was so low, it was costing them money to, like, they were basically having to pay to sell the oil, which, I mean, if you're a company, you're just not going to do that, right? You're not going to sell, you're not going to give away your inventory. So they were just shutting in, hoping that the price would come back soon enough to where they could keep paying their bills. But, you know, you start getting that $50 range, the margins get so small that a lot of these companies won't invest in new projects because they need a certain profit like margin to invest in new projects and make sure they can still pay everyone and keep everything running. Like if you're like, let's just say your break even price is $50, that means all the current production and all the hands that you have on that are employed right now at $50, you can keep everything running, keep selling the oil that you're currently producing and pay all your people, but you have no excess capital to invest in new projects. But you know, the higher the oil price, the more you see drilling because people are making a profit on their production that they already have to go invest in new projects. So that's like a big deal that, you know, they're doing right there. Why aren't we on my Apex account? Huh. No, we're on the Top Step account. We're good. So yeah, that's something to just like keep in mind with the oil prices, like around that $50, like it's not like oil companies are purposely keeping the price up. It's just like that's the whole supply and demand thing of like, if the supply is too, or if the supply gets too high, the price gets too low, the oil companies just can't afford or aren't, it'd be bad business practice to drill for more oil, which then, you know, the supply is going to catch up and it's just going to stay in that area, which around $70, $75. Like that's just like the happy medium price right now of like oil and gas. So what about the land leases? The oil price of oil drops, lease rates, which maybe they buy more rights. That's kind of a weird one. Because the getting the leases isn't necessarily ever really been that much of a problem. In some cases, yes, you pay to get a lease, but in most cases, you just work a deal out with the lease holder, unless like there's known oil on their lease. Like say you own 160 acres of land and an oil company says, "Hey, we want to drill for oil on your land." They're going to pay you directly for damages, because they're obviously going to, you know, have a bunch of equipment out there, have to make some roads. If you have crops, you know, some of those crops are going to get destroyed in that little, I'd probably say it's 100-yard, not even 100-yard plot where they, 100, like it's football field, like not even that big of an area that they're going to use when they drill a well, just because of all the equipment they'll have out there running and everything. So not even that much. But if that's in your field, they'll that's all that's all the land that they're really gonna like destroy and stuff. But where the lease prices actually come in is like, let's say there's two oil companies that want to that want to buy your lease. Like, let's say there's no you live like, they shot seismic and they know that there's a high on your lease, and like, hey, this guy probably has really good oil, or at least has a chance of really good oil on his lease, and two companies know that. Well, then they're going to start bidding for you to agree to lease them the mineral rights to your land. So that's where like prices come in, but that doesn't really have anything to do with like lease prices per se. I mean, the bidding could get a little bit more aggressive depending on lease prices, but like getting the lease isn't necessarily that hard. Leasing on government land, that's a whole different story, because the government loves when you drill on their land because they're just getting that money. But you as a leaseholder, then you just get like, when you sign that deal, like you get 1/8 of the net or you get 1/8 of the oil sold. So it doesn't even have to do with the expense. Like, you don't even have to worry about the expenses. Just like if they sell 100 barrels a day, you're going to get 1/8 of that. Or easier said, if they sell 80 barrels a day, you're getting 10 barrels a day worth of profit every day. You don't have to pay anything because it's your lease, your mineral rights. They did all the work, so they get the other 7/8, and they have to pay for everything. So that's where that 7/8 comes in. But you get 1/8 of those every single well on that lease profit, for no expense to you. Yeah, it's like a profit share, but you don't put any expenses in because you own the land and you have the mineral rights, but they're doing all the expenses to drill and do all that for you, essentially. So they take 7/8 and you take 1/8, but you put no money in outside of just owning the land. What? Wesley Emerald Gate in the house? What's up? And what's up, Ty Stocks? I see you as well. Man, Zanek's in the house. Like, the whole fam is here, dude. Dude, so for those that are up here and new, or that like not necessarily new, but like just got to the stream, we hit an absolutely fat gold short. Thank you to Vinny the Fish. Vinny the Fish got us a fat gold short. I wonder if I can pull that up or if I'm going to have to restart it. Let's do that real quick. Yeah. So we nailed a sick gold short. What? Look at those fills. Those fills aren't exactly accurate. But got a fat gold short. And then I was actually getting ready to film a video over the Gizzy Clipper and then accidentally went live. And so here we are. We're live. We're just absolutely chilling. But gold's actually selling off like really good right now. Shout out Vinny the Fish, man. He's just absolutely nailed that whole short idea with gold. We like gold. We like gold and we like Vinny the Fish. Absolutely goated in the sauce. But how's it going? Anyone else trading tonight? What about you, Wes? You doing any tradings tonight? Also got to refill my drink. No trades for you yet. Yeah, that totally accidentally went live. I meant to hit record, go live, and so yeah. Well, I guess we're here. But no, I mean ES and NQ, none of that stuff is moving around. Oh, I hope I didn't exit out of that. Okay, we're good. We're good. Yeah, I mean ES, NQ, YM, RTY, none of that's moving. We're pretty far from getting any glizzies, so probably won't get anything there. Hourly charts were pretty far away from anything as well. We're kind of in between. So Ignore my one random white chart. I actually have it bright just so that my screen is bright enough to show me because I didn't want to have any lights on. But ignore the ES chart. But the rest of them, I mean, we're pretty far from anything. We got some great glizzies yesterday for identifying the long. We put in a higher low today. We nailed our longs on YM and RTY, even though it took a couple tries to get them. My headphones just died, but that doesn't matter because I'm not listening to anything. Turn that off. Okay. So we nailed our ES and RTY, or not ES. Well, I guess we had ES long today too. Even though it took a couple of attempts, we did take an attempt before we got anything today. But then it ended up working out in the long run. Had to be very light. We were very, very light today, just a couple micros. So hope everyone else was good today as well. I know Brian had a fat day. Brian, you've had a very good week so far for taking it easy. But now he's going to be forced to take it easy because he's on his way to Mexico. But yeah, macro-wise, we'll see kind of what tomorrow brings. But yeah, I don't really have any really strong bias one way or the other. I'll probably just be playing glizzies. Yeah, if we get glizzies one way or the other. We're not going to get glizzies on the hourly tomorrow, just the way the kelts are set up. So it's going to be more short-term glizzies, probably nothing with runners tomorrow. If we're not going to have hourly glizzies, don't really want to try holding any long runners. Today was tough though. I mean, like every YM candle was like 50 points wide, which is huge for YM. That's like 2 stops within one candle. So I sized just way down. I'm glad I did, because had I not sized down, definitely would have had a pretty fat red day. There's no way I could have made any of those trades work with the standard like 30-point stop. So yeah, we'll see. It's been an okay week so far. Haven't done like any Apex copy trading. I've been basically just on the personal account. I did get a top step account just because it was really volatile, so it was pretty easy to get an express funded account pretty quick. But no, I haven't been able to do anything like with size. At least I've been like way sized down, way scaled back. Yeah, Wesley, you're right. Market just needs to take a breath. Just have to hope for no Trump tweets randomly. It's been aggressive with the headlines. Like it's been every single day has some sort of like global financial headline from either Trump or like some other country retaliating with like tariffs. So it's been somewhat, I say, you can be in a position, you can have a lot of trust in a position, and then a tweet is just going to completely ruin your entire bias for the day. And that's kind of like those bear market environments. They're pretty tough to have any trust. But speaking of that, actually, let's pull up S&P 500. Let's see where we're at. So I like looking at the stocks above and below their 20-day moving average, which is this little squiggly line on the bottom. So we still got a little bit of room left to the downside, even though we are catching quite a bit of, we caught some buyers today. But for me to really load up on like portfolio longs, I have added a little bit to my long-term portfolio yesterday and today. Added like a little bit, I'd say like 15 to 20% of my free cash was into my long-term portfolio of just, it's kind of got everything, ES or SPY, QQQ, Tesla, just everything that's in the S&P 500. Buy those individually as along with the S&P 500. So added to that, and then, but we still got a little bit ways to go before we're like, our overall value is a little bit, to where I want to like get giga long. So no like super heavy bias longs for me yet. Is that we could get like another leg down. Maybe we get like a nice relief rally and then get like a second leg down. Because this is kind of shaping up a lot like 2023 did. Let's see, let's pull that up here. So this was, or 2021, I guess, my bad. So it's shaping up a lot like right here did. And this is a lot similar conditions to what we had. I did a great job of identifying those conditions right up here in like early February. I sized way back, but it's only because we went through this 2021 conditions that I was able to identify these conditions rather quickly. I didn't catch big shorts. I just knew the potential for downside was there and high volatility mostly was there. So I was pretty happy with myself for being able to identify those conditions. And I didn't change how I traded necessarily. I just changed the aggression and size that I was trading it and really widened out my stops to really let those things work. So pretty happy with how that went, because right here, your boy got flossed, right? In this little, I did a lot of learning in this little like 2 or 3 month span right here. This was a whole bunch of Goose learns how to trade right up like through here 2016 we start playing with penny stocks, moving to futes right around this area, learning futes, everything's good. Okay, got to do a little bit of learning. Okay, we're doing great, doing great. Okay, we're doing a little bit of we're doing a lot of learning right here, and then it's been pretty good since. But I can tell you what, this big down move in this like really volatile choppy, this wasn't as aggressive of a down move. It was just really volatile. Did a lot of learning right here and a lot of learning on this big sell right here. Just because we had never seen, like, when that COVID sell happened, like, we'd literally never seen anything like that. That was insane. We were getting limit sells like every single day. Or limit downs like every single day. It was crazy. But yeah, this right here, this market condition, very similar to what we got in 2021. And it just comes down to be patient and don't trust any directions. No matter where you're at, like, you can be extremely undersold or overbought, does not matter. You need to take your setups as they come and stay appropriately sized and take your stops, because the market can and will stay irrational longer than you can stay liquid. And I found that out the hard way several times. Thank God for prop firm accounts, right? But yeah, we'll see kind of what the next couple days bring. I would like us to just go ahead and pump to like 7,000 though, because your boy has an LS swap he needs to do with the Subaru. And that kind of relies on the market just going absolutely turbo mode. Yeah, Brian says a resting sell stop environment, and that's very accurate. Like, this is so volatile. You can catch those big moves on breaks of structure. And yeah, I am actually very serious about the swap. I don't know when or exactly. I haven't made a firm decision on what engine I do want to swap the Subaru with, but I do know that it's going to happen. I just don't know. It's probably not going to happen like until the motor I got in it grenades. I won't do the swap, but like also like we can make that motor grenade whenever we want. So it's one of those things. Just I do want to do the motor swap. I want to put a V8, and when I start that thing up, I want people to be like, what the heck is in, like, what monster does he have in that thing? We need to pull up gold, I guess. Chart. GC. Oh no, Vane, we already took profit on the short. We got absolutely paid off that. So we're good. We're absolutely Gucci. You got us paid on that. We're good. I just took my points and got out. Let's see here. So here's gold. Pull up. trades. So here was our short, Vinny. We got short at 929 and got out at 927. So yeah. For anyone else, if you're in a short, yeah, I agree because we're right towards the bottom or of the glizzy as well. We're probably going to be getting glizzies soon. I guess we got a little bit ways to the glizzies, but close to the bottom of the Celts. The major support area right here, you are correct. Now, how do we feel on the gold as like a whole? Like, what's the current environment look like? Oh, wow. Hourly glizzies just absolutely paying on gold, by the way. Good job, whoever invented those. Just like dapping myself up. But no, I kind of like the long side looks good on gold. And I mean, I do think the whole Fort Knox situation is kind of funny too. How a whole bunch of gold is a whole bunch of gold is really spontaneously being imported to the United States right now, which is kind of crazy. Don't know why they would be doing that. But it's honestly crazy that man, to get like 3,000 above, if gold could like legitimately get above 3,000 and just stay above 3,000, that would be crazy because that's an asset that's kind of just been blue balled for a while. I'm just like limiting the potential of what gold should be getting to. Just be aware the last 2 weeks, gold hasn't been following the pattern the past 3 months. Yeah, it looks like it's pretty volatile, but I mean right here up at 3,000 you can kind of expect that volatility too. Like that's like a major technical level. So pull up the 6 month chart here. Man, glizzy's just absolutely getting us paid on gold. Maybe you need to be paying more attention to that. 11, 18, 24, big cells. That's a hell of a ceiling they got there at 20, 29, 80. That is a hell of a ceiling. So it'll be interesting to see if they can break that and run it up into 3,000. Don't know who the brave soul to buy gold at 3,000. Like they're gonna have to have some balls of steel because it's gonna be a scary level to buy. But also, I thought the same thing about cattle at 200. Look how that turned out. Pretty upset about that one. Did you guys see cattle finally did sell off too? Like they raw dogged me by like 5 whole points, which is pretty upsetting. Ellie. Some mother hackers. So your boy was just short to the tits right here. We were short so hard right here. And we got our core off. We got down to 195, which was good. Everything was good. And we just could not, like, I was wanting these runners to get down to like 90. At 90, we would have made, at 190, we would have made probably about 10K on that trade. We did come out of that trade green like 3,700, which ended up being nice, but like 3,700 for the amount of size that I was short is like a lot of disappointing. I really like, man, I was confident we were not going to break 200. Came up, we got my stop, and then I never got the opportunity to reshort because like we got my stop on my runners, and then we just freaking like we never broke back below 200 once we broke above it, and it ran like all the way. You can see it ran all the way up here to 207, and then finally died off. And then eventually goes down to my 190 target that I initially had, but there was no way I was like, after we broke above 200 and then ran like that, there's no way I'm taking that short because at this point, excuse me, we were getting the Mexico tariffs because Mexico has a lot of cattle. So their tariffs like do matter a lot to the United States. Like your Taco Bell meat, that's coming straight from Mexico. That's not coming from the United States. And that's not even a joke either. That's like actually serious. But once we broke above 200 and ran like that and we were getting the tariff news, no way I'm taking that short. My whole short plan is off, but then finally the short does play out. But man, there's, like I said, there was just no way I was going to be able, I couldn't justify getting an entry, and maybe I should have been a bit more aggressive, but I said the whole plan was to be short here and to hold runners for just absolute doom. Like this right here is what I thought this top was. Like, but I thought it was right here. So L me, but we move on. We'll find the next move. Lean hogs kind of got up there for a bit. I don't know if they went back up. Let's see. What do you mean? What do you mean there's no symbols found? There we go. Top step. G. Yeah, so HE, we got up to around 95, and then the short just, it paid pretty good. I am not gonna lie, I haven't even been looking at HE as much as I should have been. I felt like I was, so we did gap up to like right here, and I was kind of looking for the short, and I didn't catch it for like 2 or 3 days in a row, and like the short didn't happen, and then I got a little bit distracted with YM and ES, and then yeah, the short finally did happen, but I didn't catch it, so that's kind of just L on that's an L on my part for not being more observant of HE. But I had the Gizzy Clipper going with NQ, YM, ES, and RTY, and I was just a lot more focused on that versus trying to catch a swing short on HE. But like with the way cattle was going, I wasn't really sure what HE is going to do. But generally, anytime HE gets above $90, like that's when you start looking for the short. Although we did get that hell of a gap up, I mean that's pretty crazy. Vinny the Fish says he thinks futures in London and Tokyo demand and volume tapered off since no one knows that the future month deliveries are going to be subject to tariffs. And Bank of London warned delivery delay. That's actually a very good point. Alicia Iwinia? I'm trying. I'm sorry if I butchered that, but banana bread, absolutely. We eat banana bread and make money. That's the motto of banana bread trades here. But yeah, we watch futures charts, eat banana bread, and trade our little hearts out. Just like we did on gold earlier, we absolutely nailed the short on gold. I'm so happy with that gold short too. Like what a great trade that was. Shout out to Fish. Just with the best idea here. Stream surfing and found you. You found me on like the one night I've streamed in like the last year too, which is kind of crazy. Like what a coincidence. Actually, the longer term short actually looks pretty good. Kind of. Like down to like maybe like 90. Is that 9? No, 920. My bad. Gotta zoom out here. But no, accidentally went live as I was messing with Streamlabs trying to make a new video, and we just decided to roll with it and ended up getting a good trade in, so that's nice. So nice of you to find us on this one random night that we accidentally streamed. Feel free to join the Discord where we talk shit all day. That's actually where you want to be. It's free. We don't charge for anything. We just talk shit all day. Talk shit, make memes, eat banana bread, make money. I do have some new songs in the works as well. I have 8 that are tracked without vocals. And I'm thinking about, and I have some ideas for like 2 to 3 more. and I'm thinking that I drop a non-vocal set of tracks because the vocal parts were cool, but also like it's nice to have like non-vocal stuff. Like when I'm trading and stuff, if I'm listening to music, it's like EDM stuff with like no vocals. Sometimes we have vocals, sometimes not. But like if I do have music on while I'm actively trading, like I just need more so like white noise, if anything else, because I'm terrible about getting like distracted really easy, like too much ADHD going on right here. Like if people are talking, I'm like trying to focus on this, but they're talking in my ear over here, so I'm like half focused on that. Main reason that I really suck at like being in Discord calls, like at market open, just because like if someone's talking in the background as I'm like focused on the I'm in like $2,000 of drawdown and someone over here is talking about what they're having for breakfast. You know, you're like ah. Brian says the only thing he hears when he's trading is his heartbeat and the sound of his mouse smashing against the wall. Poor Brian's mouse. Brian, if you could guess, would you say that you could fit the number of mice you've broken on both hands? Like, is it more than 10? Is it more than 10 mice? Because it's three like this month, isn't it? Or like between this month and last month, last like 4 weeks. So it's not more than 10 mice. Okay. Am I trading with a prop firm? Yeah, so I got Top Step, Apex, and Bullinox. I got a live account with Bullinox. I got the Top Step one is new. I got it like today. And then mostly I trade my personal account. But I mean, like I said, with the cost of the Apex accounts, it's kind of silly to not have them if you can spend, let's see, let's do the math here, like 1,600 and get 40 grand worth of drawdown. Kind of tough not to like those odds. That's great. That's granted, assuming you get a payout, right? Like you don't want to just hop into 20 accounts and not be able to get the payout part. But no, we got some prop firms that'll like do like my intraday trading stuff on, and then personal account mostly I do swings on, but then also like as of lately I've been doing quite a bit of scalping on it just because like the market volatility and stuff, doing like sell stop orders. Like Brian is really good at sell stop orders, so I've been using my personal account a little bit on that, just also because like the personal account, like when you're using live data, like actual real data, not prop firm data, your fills are like insanely better. So the prop firm has been like not as nice for that. So if I'm using the props, I want to be able to take on just a little bit more risk, I guess. Oh, you just passed a Bullinox 50K? Good. Hell yeah. Shout out Elisa. Um actually, so Tyler had a problem last night or today. I guess last night into today where like he had like a random ghost order, but Bullinox completely reset his account for him, which was like really cool. I've always been like um I've always been a big fan of Bullinox. They're really low key, like under the radar compared to like Top Step and Apex and a few of those others, just because they have like no real social media presence. But in my opinion, that's actually great for them because that for one keeps them out of the drama and keeps it from like getting too crazy influx of like new people like Apex does. But also they price match Apex all the time. And then in my opinion, their customer service is like quite a bit better. I mean, like they're still all pretty like hands-on, like they don't have anything automated. So you'll get like an email or whatever tomorrow. Because someone's actually going to send that to you, but in my opinion that's actually kind of nice cuz when you talk with Bullinox, you're usually talking with like a real person and they get to you like relatively quick. It's not going to be like Apex where like they may or may not get back to you in like 2 days. And then when they do get back to you, it's going to be like automated response, or like sometimes their customer service doesn't really understand your question correct. Like they're going to gaslight you and tell you that you gave them the question wrong. But aside from that, just their customer service isn't that great. I've never been really happy with them, but Bulanox has great customer service, and the prices is about the same. So big fan with the Bulanox. And I'm not affiliated with any of these guys in any way. I don't do affiliates. I guess I technically do, so don't sue me. But like, I also don't like promote any of the affiliate stuff, because if you have Apex or Bulanox, you just have an affiliate code. With Bulanox, to get paid, oh, I'd have to recheck up on their payout rules because I'm in the live account, so I don't have that. But I think it's 10 days, and then just don't have a single day that's more than like 40% of your profits. But it's pretty clear in their facts, so I would just check that out. What's up, Decoy? And then what's up, Viscous Bazow? I'm just gonna call you Bazo. This is a different topic from live, but what do you recommend to learn about day trading? I really want to learn right away. So you want to learn day trading? I wouldn't say start with futures. Futures is like the toughest thing to trade right off the bat. The best, I actually talked about this last night with Brian. And to learn how to day trade, the best thing you can do is go find some small cap stocks, or like go, if you have Robinhood, go on Robinhood and find stocks that are, priced anywhere between, under like anywhere from like $3 to $20. The best, like just to get your hands on like learning how to like buy, sell, how stocks move. Go find stocks that are in between like $3 to $20 on your Robinhood or whatever your Thinkorswim, whatever your trading platform is. Robinhood's the easiest one to do. Do research on that stock, and find some stocks that maybe have earnings coming up, or maybe you think are undervalued, and just practice buying and selling those in like maybe 2 to 3 week increments, right? You don't need to necessarily be trading them all within like one day. And when you're just doing those individual shares, you don't have to worry about losing a whole bunch of money right at once, because you're just buying these individual shares. They don't go to zero, yada, yada, yada. But as far as like good, like educational content goes for learning how to day trade, I think the best way to do it would be to join the Discord in the link below in the description, and go to learn more about stocks. I would go to stock picks and then at Grumpy. He's a guy in our Discord, really good with stock picks, and he'll be able to get you kind of on the right path of some of the better stocks to look at. And then I have a great like educational section in the Discord as well. All this is free, by the way. We don't charge for anything here. But like if you go to our Discord, it's currently called Brian's Mouse because RIP Brian's Mouse. It died the other day. Come down here we have accountability. This is just where everyone posts what they've been doing the last couple months, or full labs alerts. Come down here to trading education. And I have a whole bunch of stuff here on just learning all the different stuff about futures. But if you're new to trading in general, or want to learn futures, which is what I trade full time, I got videos and stuff in the new to futures section. Got a whole 30-minute video on what futures are and stuff. And then we have a library here too, full of like a bunch of books that are great. These are all free PDFs you can get to learn how to trade. And then also just hop in the general chat here and at me there. And hey, look, just say who you are from the stream or whatever that you're looking new to trade. And I'll throw some more like good content in there, because the whole trying to tell you the best way to learn how to trade, just like right here, in like a quick little spitball, it's kind of more in depth than that. And I don't think I could accurately give you the best advice just off the cuff. I'd rather type you out something more well thought out and kind of give you more like bullet points that you can then go do that appropriate research to look at, because just right off the cuff, I don't know if I'd give you it. For one, it'd be hard to retain, and then two, I don't know how well I could just put that cohesively out there. I'm not the best public speaker. Um, yeah, and also as Decoy says, if you're not joining Brian's Mouse, then you're literally just losing money. And also, what's great about the Discord as well is, and I think this is somewhat unique to ours. Some other places have it too, but we have this we have general trading chat, and then we also have the verified trader chat, which a lot of Discords, when you go to them and you're talking to people, what you'll learn over the years is everyone you talk to isn't always necessarily like a profitable trader. There's a lot of people that talk with good intentions, but they don't always necessarily know what they're talking about because they aren't doing this full time. We have this verified trader chat, which everyone can see, but only people who have gone through a process of verifying, like, that yes, they are a profitable full, like they have been trading for a long time and they do it profitably, only they can speak there. Everyone can see it, but only they can speak there. And they're all like labeled and everything as well, just so that when you're asking people questions, that you're talking to someone who has really done it. So that's really something that I think has a lot of value in the Discord as well. Just that that when you're talking to someone and they have that verified tag, they're legit. They are a real trader, and you're getting real information from someone who's actually doing real trading, not just saying they do. Yeah, Decoy. We accidentally went live tonight, but I'm glad you showed up. I'm glad to see Decoy's been gone from Discord for so long, and it makes me so angry that he's just like not around as much, but also he's out there absolutely getting the bag. So I also kind of respect that. Like big respect. Wesley says the guy accidentally goes live randomly and picks up new viewers. Yeah, that's hey, we'll take it, right? Like I haven't been live in probably a year. Let's look up the last time I was live. It's been a hot minute. I think the last live was a UTC as well with Joel. View your channel. When was the last time I was live? Almost a year ago. And it wasn't a UTZ. We had Joel versus Palmetto was the last UTC. Joel took the dub there. But no, 11 months ago was our last live. So yeah, glad to maybe we do this more often. I've mostly just been chilling in the Discord just because it's easier to talk. Like, we have 13 viewers right now, right? So, but I also usually talk to the same like 10 people in Discord. So I was like, we'll just hop in the Discord voice and talk versus me talking in chat. But no, maybe we do a little bit more YouTube, bring a little bit more people to the Discord to harass. We haven't had any like a lot of good like new hazings in a while in the Discord, so maybe we need to bring that up a little bit. Alyssa asked, "Do I trade?" I'm really sorry. I don't think I can pronounce your last name correctly. Asked if I trade full time. The answer is yes, I do. But only necessarily within like the last like, let's see, probably within the last year is where it's been like a kind of a slow transition, because I still technically get contracted out to do like oil and gas stuff. But the primary source of income is futures trading, because like I still have, like I said, I'm contracted out more of like a consultant, and I'll take those jobs sometimes, just depending on what it is, because that's really good, easy money that it's really hard to turn down. But as far as the main source of income, that's coming from just trading. Let's read here. How long have you been in Nashville? Decoy, I feel like you've been there for a hot minute. He says last night of training in Nashville. Yeah, I feel like you've been in Nashville for literally like a month almost, it seems. Bazo joined the Discord. Okay, everyone, when you're in Discord, I'm going to tell you that I love you and that I'm so happy that you joined. Decoy got here Sunday, flew out tomorrow. So you've been there for almost a week. So that's a long time. You need to get back so we can play Halo as well. And then Alyssa asks, where am I streaming from? I am streaming from just outside of Wichita, Kansas. So we are straight up in the middle of, we're close to somewhere, but far from somewhere at the same time. Because like, while Wichita is technically somewhere, it's not really anywhere in the grand scheme of things. But possibly, this is something that's been on the ponder for a little bit. We might be moving here in the next few months. Big possibility of a move. Which I'm not moving like super far. I'm just moving back out eastern Kansas. Gonna get some land, be a little bit closer to family and stuff. Back out by the lake. So yeah, that's possibly in the books here in the next couple months. Oh, you travel nursing? Which hospital did you work at? Because I was probably there, because I go to freaking Wesley all the time for breaking stuff or kidney stones. I was in Wesley for kidney stones like 2 or 3 months ago now. And then I was in there maybe 5 months ago because I broke my finger. You can see how crooked it is. Night, Vinny. Thank you for the trade tonight, Vinny. Absolutely goated. You are the man. Nailed that sick gold short. We'll be looking to do some more of those. Not Wesley. You went to I know the name of that one. I helped build the basement in that with a friend. The new X-ray lab they have downstairs. I helped put up drywall down there on a weekend. Via Christi. I think Via Christi is the Catholic one. I believe that's it. We'll see you later, Zenek. I'll probably hop off here in a minute. Yeah, Via Christi. Yeah, it's got a whole new X-ray room. I actually helped put the drywall up in the down in that. 2 months there? Yeah, so you were right in my area. My house, if you know where Town East Mall is, I'm right in the neighborhood next to that. That's where my humble abode is currently. But like I said, we're gonna be moving probably here in like probably around 4. It's gonna be after tax season. I'll get my tax return, or actually pay taxes now. That's sad. Get taxes done and everything's like finalized, and then when the stock market kind of rebounds, whenever it rebounds, just know if like ES or SPY is pushing all-time high, I am moving. That is the plan. I have a few different like long-term investments accounts, and I have a bunch of money in one of them, and one of those is a house fund. And that house fund specifically, that one account, when it reaches a certain number, that is the number I'm going to pull that money and use that money to build a house. It's kind of like a goal, I guess, I have in mind. And when that account hits a certain number, I'm going to pull that, use that money to build a house out in back in eastern Kansas, and get out of the city. I grew up in the country my whole life, like out in the boondocks. like not the boondocks, out in the boonies, like way far from town. So living in the city has definitely been a lot different. It's nice in some aspects because like the concept of DoorDash is crazy. Like you can just have cooked food delivered to your house. That is nuts. And I have been spoiled on that. But at the same time, like I like running around the lake, just going out and not having to worry about getting shot at like 2 a.m. if I want to go on a walk, um, and all that jazz. So I don't know. Probably, like I said, I think I'd rather move back out in the country just so I can go ride my dirt bike around, go hunting, fishing, do all that stuff, and it's just all right there. Um, yeah, so that's the plan. Alyssa says her goal is to become profitable in futures trading and only work once a year as a nurse to keep your license up to date. Came to Kansas to see the Kansas City Chiefs only to find out. Yeah, we're about 2.5 hours from the Chiefs, which I mean, like everyone in Kansas watches the Chiefs because it's the closest team we got. Like it's there. So the stadium is in Missouri, but the headquarters is actually in Kansas, which is kind of funny because like they're like literally like right on the border. Um, so that we claim the Kansas claims the Kansas City Chiefs as them as well, and also they always come up with like the Chiefs actually try to get their stadium rebuilt in Kansas all the time because the taxes for them would actually be cheaper if they did that. But that hasn't really passed yet either because they want grant money and the state's like, we're not going to pay you to build a stadium. Like you guys make millions of, you build your own stadium. But no, becoming a profitable trader and doing that full time, it's definitely very tough. But if you just take your time and do it the right way, like it's so easy to you like look at it and be like, oh, if I just sling 2 minis for 10 points, I could make $400 in 13 seconds. Yes, but you can also, more often than not, you're going to lose that $400 in 13 seconds. But if you take your time and use the appropriate size relative to your account size, and then you scale appropriately, like I've always been of the theory of like, don't add leverage to your account, add accounts to your empire. Like with Bullinox, you have the ability to have up to 11 50K accounts, right? So in theory, you could just continue working your way up with the 50K account you got now and get that to a payout. Use that payout to then buy another account, then buy another account. Never adding never trading with more size on your original 50K account. Then you can copy trade those accounts, copy those orders, and then you never add any more risk to any individual account, but you're also adding size. So let's say you trade with 1 micro on your 50K account. 1 micro MYM with so if you're using 1 micro YM, so MYM, this ticker right here, if you want to see something cool, you can be wrong by, we'll put a limit order right here. So look at when we put a buy limit right there at 43,000, right? The beauty of this is you can be wrong by 6,000 points. Let's see, on a 50K account, I guess you only get 2K a drawdown, right? So you can be wrong by 4,000 points on YM before you get liquidated, right? So you have so much room to be wrong. And then you just add accounts. So eventually you get up to 10 accounts and you're trading 1 MYM on every single account. Essentially, like if you're trading with reasonable risk on your trades, you're never going to get liquidated. And now you have essentially an entire mini worth of leverage to where you hit 1 30-point trade a day, or let's hit one 40-point trade a day. Well, now you're making, 50K a year just on one trade a day for like virtually no risk. So that's the process I would recommend. That's what I did with my Apex accounts that helped kind of get me where I'm at today. Is I got 20 Apex accounts 2-3 years ago now. Would have been quite a while ago now. But what I did with those is I got my 20 accounts. I was just trading MNQ at the time, which I would say in current volatility, MNQ is almost like one MNQ is actually like quite a bit of leverage with current volatility. But with what I did was I just traded one MNQ at a time on 25K accounts and 20 of them at a time, copying 20 at once, one MNQ. And it took me 3 months to get my first payout. And when I finally got my first payout, then I was break even on it. And then after I got my first payout, then the goal was just to make $500 a month, right? Because $500 a month got me, the minimum withdrawal was $500. So all I had to do was make $500 a month. So that was either 5 50-point trades, which on NQ is very doable, or 10 25-point trades, however you want to look at it. With MNQ, like when you catch a good runner on NQ, it's pretty easy to like get those ones, but sometimes you'll have a lot of stops and break evens as well. But just took my time, and eventually those accounts grew. Some months we made more than $500, some months we made less, but eventually, we would just keep withdrawing that 500, and then, eventually we'd have months that made more than 500, and those accounts would grow, and then eventually we could move up to 2 MNQ. Right? And then eventually you can move up to 3 MNQ and so on and so forth. And you're adding that value also into a personal account, so you don't have to worry about meeting all the rules for withdrawing Apex. And all of this snowballs into building something of like a large empire. But the problem is most people lose sight of the bigger picture because they want money right now. But if you think of it more as like a business, most businesses take 2 to 5 years to really become profitable. And if you treat this like a business and have a larger business perspective on this, you have this plan of like, okay, I want this business to be fully profitable and operational in the span of 2 years. And you spend 2 years building your empire of accounts and your business and doing everything slowly in the right way, you're going to be leaps and bounds ahead, as if you were trying to trade with too much size and continuing getting liquidated and having to restart every single time. Because then you'll have 20 accounts or however many accounts. They'll all be at their payout threshold, ready for payout, and you won't have to make that much money a year to get paid out and make a lot of money because you have so many accounts that you're copying, right? If you have 20 accounts and you're taking $500 out, once a month, well, that's 10K a month. And you do that 12 times, that's 120K a year. All right. Now assume, it's a year or two down the line and you've been able to size up to 2 MNQ. Okay. Now you're making $1,000 a month per account. All right. Now you're making 240K a month, so on. Like it grows, and it grows exponentially. You just have to be really patient in that initial part of it. And if you are patient in that first 1 to 2 years and trade everything correctly, like the next 3 to 5 are just such incredible exponential growth, and you will be so thankful that you just took your time to do it right. So just take your time, do it right. You got your first account. You're going to get funded tomorrow, which is really awesome. Congratulations on that. Now comes the actual really hard part of just staying disciplined, staying small, and ensuring that that account lasts you the next 5 years, and the empire that one account is going to grow if you just take your time and do it right. Yes, essentially just trading super small size across a lot of accounts. And it's that's the real benefit to doing these prop firms, is the amount of leverage you can get for such little money if you apply that leverage correctly. It's really, really worth a lot. And Wesley knows what I'm talking about too, because he's one of the few people I give Wesley credit on this. He's the only person I know who is still on their original Top Step XFA, or at least I hope he still is, because last time he talked to you, he still was, which is actually incredibly impressive because no one else I know has ever done that. My first XFA lasted I think 3 weeks, and I wasn't even necessarily trading. Like, my risk management was good. I just took nothing but losers for like 3 weeks. Because my first XFA came in 2020, and I don't know if you guys were around in 2020 or not, but it was a little volatile. Yeah, we moved a lot more than I was used to. Majestic Bird in the house. What's up, Bird? Bird is for those of you that don't know, he is my personal software engineer, and he is doing a lot of work on the Gizzy Clipper 5000 to bring us notifications, which, let me show you guys something right now. It's pretty cool. We have sounds now on the current version that me and Bird are working on. We haven't brought this one out to public yet, but we now have sound. So when a glizzy gets posted, we get a sound, which is really cool. So you don't even have to be looking at charts to know when a glizzy's getting posted. We got some other cool things in the works. One of the things I'm most excited about is getting push notifications sent to your phone when a glizzy posts. And the way we're going to have that set up, hopefully, this is still just us talking and kind of a work in progress, but you wouldn't even need to have Quantower to get these notifications. It would be a completely separate service where you would essentially subscribe to it, and it'd almost be like having a Telegram. Doesn't necessarily have to be a Telegram. It can be something else. But we're working on all that stuff, but completely separate service. Don't have to even have any trading platform. It'll just be, you'll essentially sign up for our SMSs or our whatever we use to send the notification, whether it be SMS, Telegram, however, or even if we make our own app for it. You won't even need a trading platform open. So if you got like our Trader Pro on your phone and you're just trading a prop account, you don't need to have anything open. You can just get a text that says upwards glizzy has just posted on YM at exactly this time. So then you just open our Trader Pro and get long with a 30-point stop, and boom, there you go. Obviously you would want to have a little bit more context than that, but that's like kind of the ultimate goal. I think it'd be something really, really cool that, we can eventually come up with. Eventually, further down the road, it'd be really cool to have those notifications come with like a screenshot of whatever me and Bird decide to put the Gizzy Clipper on. Like, it screenshots that and sends it. Alyssa says signal service. Not necessarily a signal service. This is just an indicator that I designed. It's essentially all the stuff that I use to trade. I got a daily expected range, which is this here, which is where the price should and normally stays within these bounds on a certain percentage of the days outside of news days or when we break to go find a new balance. And then I have a bunch of other parameters in here to essentially play a mean reversion to stay within these range and tell you when the conditions are best for staying in that mean reversion. And what I've been working on, and all of this is free as well, for now at least, is just having it set up to where it shows us when these, essentially shows where I have normally looked for taking my trades. I just have it all automated on the charts now. Now we're working on bringing it to like notifications and stuff on the phone, so you don't even have to sit at the chart all day and wait to see the glizzies or know when price is at the edges of these bounds and is planning the, its next mean reversion. You just get a notification on your phone, and then you know to open charts when that notification comes up. That's what I'm working on, because essentially if I'm able to create that between me and Bird, then that's going to get rid of me having to sit at a chart all day long to wait for a certain setup. I will just get texted when that setup gets on. I can then hop on my phone and take the trade, and it just eliminates the need for me to sit here for 8 hours a day and then do all my charting at night, all this stuff. It just allows me to have a lot more freedom and free time. Because I also have, charts and stuff on my phone, and you can also run different software to be able to access your computer like on your phone and stuff, and it will allow me to trade like a lot more mobily. So that's essentially where we're going. And then obviously, like if I'm getting notifications, we'll allow other people to be able to access those as well. But that part might cost money, because like I said, that's going to be, I'm going to have to pay for data for those notifications to be sent out. So like if I'm paying for it, I don't want to be paying for it, right? So like it won't be expensive. But obviously, like I said, if I'm going to have to be paying for data to send it out, that part's not going to be free. But the Gizzy Clipper itself, that part you can find in the Discord and put that on your charts. I am a big fan. Because just like this, like today was a great example on YM. We got to the lower end of the bounds, all the conditions were met, and then we got a mean reversion back to the middle of the range. And so like the middle of the expected range is where you want to would exit all your trades, because that's back at like the perfect middle. But right here had a great glizzy that ended up going back up to the middle of the expected range. Same thing here. We got up to the top of the expected range, and also we had all the conditions for the mean reversion to happen. And that was essentially the high of the day. We didn't all go all the way back down to the middle of the range, but that was still worth 250 points on YM, which you should probably be pretty happy with 250 points on YM. So pretty happy with the development on this. It's still a work in progress. Refining, making everything a little bit better. But essentially all I did was take everything that I've been using to trade over the last few years, and I used to have like 6 to 8 charts to trade one ticker, because I had so many different contextual things on each chart, and I couldn't have them all on one chart because it looks too messy. I took all those contextual things, wrote them into code, put them in an indicator, put most of it in the background, because I don't need all that stuff on the chart. I just need to know when it's happening. And then I put that all into a formula and everything. And now on my charts, I just need one chart for each ticker. And it just gives me that really good contextual data. And, everything else is just calculated quietly in the background and arrow posts when it happens. That's all I need to know. Because when the arrow posts, I know all the conditions I was looking at from all other 6 charts have all been met. And this really helps also visualize when all those things have lined up perfectly. Bazo asks, I'm reading about your Glizzy 5000 in their journal. What do you do after you see the arrow? Just enter market order, waiting for some pattern, etc. So what I've always said about the Gizzy Clipper is, imagine if it wasn't there, even if it is there, you see an arrow. If the arrow wasn't there, is there a reason for you to take the trade short? So like, imagine the arrows aren't here right now. This is gone. This is blank. If we get up to this zone right here, is this a zone that you had marked out prior? Like, do you like this area for a short? And what are the conditions you usually look for to take the short? Okay, we're up in this area. You like this area for a short. All of a sudden now you see a glizzy there as well, which is the arrow. Okay, now you have more confluence that mean reversion should be happening right now. This is the reversal area. Or if you're long and you get up to this zone, you don't know if it's going to continue breaking through, but you get a glizzy, you know that you are most likely going to be safe if you take profits right now, because we should get a reversion back to the mean. And by the mean, I just mean back to the middle of whatever moving range is. For me, I like using the 200 EMA. That's what I use for the basis of the mean reversion. So that's kind of the whole theory for it. For me, I watch order flow. So I'll be watching time and sales or DOM surface, all of that stuff. Like basically, I'll be watching for price to flip in my direction. I actually have a great video on that. If you go to, this would way better describe what I'm trying, a good way to visualize what I'm talking about right now. If you go watch, let's see, this video right here, the best day trading strategy, Delta Flip. Now, I don't necessarily use initial balance to trade anymore, but the process of me looking at what the orders are doing in order to take that trade is still the same. So the level that I take the trade at now is different, but what I look for at the level to take the trade is still the same. So go watch this video here, and I have a lot of really great examples that are going to explain it way better than me just trying to say it without having that visual example. I would definitely go watch this, because let's see if I can just pull it up right here. Gotta watch ads because I don't have YouTube Premium. I go explain Delta and all of this stuff, but I go through some like live examples and I point out everything that I'm looking at to take these trades using all the different examples of different types of ways to watch, how the orders and everything are going. So definitely go give this video a watch to kind of understand what I look for personally when the glizzies are getting posted. Like I said, I don't trade initial balance as much anymore. I have the expected range, which is kind of a little bit of a function of what that initial balance was, but in my opinion, a lot more accurate than initial balance itself. But like I said, everything I look at to enter those trades is all very, very similar, if not exactly the same, to what I made in this video right here. So go give that a watch. Oh, yeah, and then the main caveat that Brian just mentioned right here. This is the main, most important part of the Gizzy Clipper 5000 is it is built completely around non-volatile, non-news days. So specifically Globex plays, or just, making sure you don't have a lot of like a CPI. Like a CPI day is going to be the worst day for the Gizzy Clipper 5000 because we aren't moving in like a nice channel type pattern. We're going to have those really, really sharp like one directional moves that are going to go crazy, right? Don't use the Gizzy Clipper on those types of days, because those are the days where price is not going to have a mean reversion. It's going to be very singular, like one single direction. That's not what the Gizzy Clipper is for. The Gizzy Clipper is built for mean reversions, and the best environment for mean reversions is low volatility, non-volatile, non-news environments. If you go back and look at the Gizzy Clipper through like if you just go back and look at like old days, you'll always notice that the absolute best glizzies are around like 3 a.m. Central Standard Time, which is around London Open, a little bit after London Open, because there's just no volatility that time. Those are the best mean reversion times. But the problem with 3 a.m. is that it's literally 3 a.m. and I'm going to be asleep. So I miss out on those a lot. But if we had the notifications rolling, I could have this thing scream at me at 3 a.m., wake up and look at it, be like, huh? Hit short, go back to sleep. So that's one of the main reasons I really want to get notifications for this thing, because that would open up being able to be a Globex trader. Other than that, I'm just going to have to move to like Italy or something crazy like that to be able to trade at 3 a.m. because I don't want to change my whole I like sunshine, so I can't be like locked in the dark all the time, even though it's completely dark right now, but it's dark outside, so that's different. And then Fletcher is in the house. What is up, my dude? Dude got his payout. Was it yesterday? So absolutely pumped for Fletch dog. Absolutely proud of you. Good shit. We got a lot of dubs in the house tonight. We had our fish dude. Sorry, I've maybe drank a little bit too much. But we had Vinny the fish absolutely cranked us a gold short earlier. Then we got Elisa here. She got her Bullinox funded account, which is sick. Now we got Fletcher getting paid. Like, whole fam just getting absolutely breaded up. Absolutely pumped. But, man, guys, we've been streaming for like an hour and a half. That's crazy. I didn't even plan on, Brian says I'm pretty drunk. Dude, I've drank 2 pretty, like, stiff glasses of, whiskey so far. So it's been kind of wild now. We didn't even plan on streaming. We've been streaming for a good like hour and a half now. That's kind of crazy. Maybe we should do this more often. Got 12 views, more than like I was even getting before I even quit streaming. Didn't even intend on quit streaming. I just got busy. It was got like summertime and stuff. It's hard to want to sit at a computer and stream in front of like 10 people when it's nice outside. So it makes it tough. Also really tough to like stream during like RTH when you're actually trading, because like it's like, oh, is my YouTube stream going? Oh, I'm 1,000 points in drawdown. Like, that's pretty tough. Mad respect to the dudes that do it. I just found that it was too just. I have too much ADHD. I can't even listen to music when I trade. So to have like anything distracting when I have life-changing amounts of money on the line is like, it's just like too much, because like this is my business, my job. I just want like no distractions while I do it. But in the evening times like this, when we're doing nothing, I'm all about it. Yeah, Wesley, like it's pretty impressive that you're able to do it as well, because you got dudes just absolutely, people like Nims just absolutely roasting you and putting you on blast while you're trading. That's got to be pretty tough. That freaking Nims guy. Or you got DJ taking like 400 trades in the first 10 minutes of open, which is pretty crazy too. That dude's absolutely wild. And yeah, Wes has got that dog in him. That is 5 sure. But yeah, I had to tell the Brit to pipe down. Otherwise, is Nems British? I didn't even realize that. I did not realize. I knew he was from UK. I guess I didn't realize he was a filthy Brit, right? Me and Brian got a lot to say about the British people. Which, where the heck is Joel at? I'm surprised Joel didn't get the noti to come here, although he's probably so deep in exploring America right now. Our friend Joel is exploring America for the first time in his life. So he is on an absolute trip right now, up in Oregon, of all places. So I hope he's having a I hope he's having a great time. He deserves. He's had, last year for him was a pretty tough but important year in his life. So I'm glad he's taken some time to just relax and have fun. He deserves it. 500 moist genius for trader psychology. But yeah, Joel's absolutely been putting in his dues, and I am excited to see. I think we're finally getting over the bridge with Joel to where he's about to make that next step into being a legitimate, profitable trader, and I'm really excited to see what the next couple months have in store. Yeah, he's the nice thing about it is like when you have someone and you've seen them get grenaded for the same thing over and over, in the past, and then they finally make the adjustments and you see them get into a spot where it's like easy to let everything get out of hand, and he checked himself and prevented those things from happening in that moment. And when I saw that happen, I was like, holy heck, he's doing it. Like he checked himself and he didn't grenade this time. He gets it. So like I'm really happy to see him like taking those steps and like actually starting to like he sees it. He sees when he does what he's supposed to do, what the results are in the long term, and I'm really excited for that. The 500 a month. Yeah, exactly, sir. Exactly. If I just didn't trade when I knew I shouldn't trade, I'd be solid. Dude, if I just wouldn't take losses when I should have been taking wins, that is that's the part that really took me a long time to get. Take more winners, honestly. But no, it's a tough game, and it's a psychological really hard game because it trading is the only profession you're going to have, or one of the only professions you're going to have, where you can sit at your desk and put in the work for months at a time and not get paid. I can sit here for an entire month every day for 20 trading days and not have a paycheck at the end of the month. But the wonderful thing about trading is, or maybe not wonderful thing about trading is, it can be 6 months down the line and I'm going to get an entire year's worth of work in one lump sum payment from 4 days of trading. That's just how this game goes. You're going to tread water forever. And as long as you're not digging a hole while you're treading water, when those profitable moments or market conditions do come, you just get absolutely paid. I was talking to Totally Dude Tyler the other day, and we were talking about like my 2023. I had 3 months where I made, I think it was like 90 to 95% of my profits. I was break even up until May, and then May was an absolute banger month. I made most of my money I would say I made 60% of my entire year in May. And then after May, we go into June. I was in Canada most of June, actually, for like the first 2 weeks of June. Came back from Canada, and then I was break even again until November, like midway through November into December, like that little 4-week period right there in the last half of November and the first half of December. I made the rest of my yearly P&L came from that like little 4-week period. So over the span of that entire 12-month period, 95% of my profits came from really only like a little bit less than like 3 months of trading. And the rest of the time was just treading water. It just was really tough market conditions. And then what I did a good job at was just not digging myself in a hole. So when things were clear and I hit them correctly and I got those runners to run, like it really ended up being, that was in 2023, that was the year where I was like, okay, I'm going to do this full time, right? Like that was an absolutely fantastic year. I think I made about 110 grand that year, around there. So that was a really great year for me, but also a really great learning experience on you just can't expect to get paid every single week. It's just waiting to the right market conditions and getting paid when the market is going to let you. Sorry. Um, Bird says the last month he's realized that the slightest of mental slips can lead to a daily loss limit day so fast, especially because of how tight small accounts are. Yeah, when you're trading with the small accounts, you don't have room to make silly errors like that. But also, it really enforces discipline in the point of, hey, you want to do this full time? Like, you need to be able to show up every single day, follow your rules, and do what you know you should be doing, because those mental lapses, although with the small accounts, it is a little extra hard because sometimes we're too hard on ourselves, and we'll see things that in the moment look like a clear trade, but then in hindsight, like, oh, that wasn't a great trade. But in the moment, like, we thought it was a good trade. So sometimes we need a little bit of room to just be wrong in the moment and need to be a little bit easier on ourselves. But yeah, I would definitely agree with you. Like, if you want to do this full time, you're not going to get away with being super silly. Yeah. Brian says he loves the freedom, but the income is amazing too. Exactly. Fletcher says he just feels the need to participate in every move he predicts. I have the same problem with that, because I can sit here and look at a chart, and I could more often than not guess the direction of like the next like 1 minute candle, right? If you just sit there and watch every 1 minute candle, your brain subconsciously has the idea of where the price is going to go, because you've seen these patterns so many times that subconsciously, like you said, they get imprinted on your brain. But for me, one thing I really had to enforce, and I heard this from someone else, and then I've kind of like made it my motto, is I am not concerned about a move that I did not plan for. So I may be able to see a move that's happening right now, but I'm only worried about the trades that I am planned to take. For like here, like I'm planning to take a glizzy. So while I may have a pretty good idea that, hey, we're going to go to the upper or lower expected range, we're going to go there, I don't really have the entry criteria for it. And for me, I want to take the long in the bottom of the expected range when all the criteria is met. That's the move I'm planning for. So anything that happens out in here, it just doesn't really concern me, because that's not the move I planned for. And that took me a long time to learn, because it just takes being wrong or doing it for so long, hitting your head against the wall for so long, that you finally decide to turn around and walk towards the middle of the room, right? It's such a tough game, because there's so much money to be made out there, and we get so caught up in the potential of making money that we sometimes do forget that we're not going to make all the money. We just need to make the money when the money is being given to us and has the most clear setup. Fletcher says he joined late, so probably missed it. When is the glizzy available for use? Every once in a while, I'll drop like a free beta in chat, and then I'll delete it like an hour later. So just got to kind of keep an eye on my journal. Because sometimes the betas have issues and I just take them down like immediately after I see that they got an issue, and then I won't release it until like it's like finished. But the finished version, like the actual finished Gizzy Clipper version, is coming relatively soon. And like that one, I'll put out and I'll make a whole video on it, and like I'll make, big announcements on everything that it's coming. But yeah, just keep an eye in the Discord that you're in it, just the link down below if you're not, or you can always shoot me a DM too, and we can always make things happen there. I just don't necessarily have it out like in the public, just because it's not a finished version yet, and I don't like getting DMs of saying like, hey, this doesn't work, or this doesn't, like, we do want DMs of like, hey, this doesn't work, because we're doing like beta testing, but also like once that issue becomes known, like I don't like people that have came like way late coming like, hey, this isn't doing this. Like, yeah, I know, we fixed it. We're on like the next version. um, so yeah, just if you want, hit me with a DM. We could probably make some things happen. But also like just keep an eye out on my journal, and I usually post updates there whenever we get like a new better version that we know doesn't have certain bugs, but then we might get new bugs here or there. NQ is also kind of selling, so kind of got an eye on that a little bit right now. Brian says he's more of a scalper, but he takes less than half the trades he sees because the risk doesn't make sense. And yeah, that's like, Brian's someone especially like, he probably could tell you with 70 to 80% accuracy exactly which direction the next 1 minute candle is going to go on NQ. But you know, his discipline is so strong. He's not going to trade that candle unless the risk for the trade makes sense. And that's something that's really, really impressive from someone who trades a lot of size. Brian is the only person I've seen in real time trade with the size he does and the way he trades profitably. There's lots of people that can trade a lot of candles and take a lot of trades a day, but I've never seen anyone do it profitably outside of Brian. And the way Brian does it, it makes a lot of sense. Brian is undoubtedly the best trader I know, personally. So the way he trades, and like I said, he can accurately predict those candles pretty like with really, really insane accuracy. But the way he trades and goes about it shows like the incredible discipline. Like, it's really, really been cool to watch, and I've learned a lot from him. Alyssa says this is why it's taken her so long to become profitable, because she got paid decent on my day job, thereby giving me the flexibility to take huge size, which leads to blown funded accounts. Dude, I'm in the same place too. And it's so hard with the funded accounts too, because it's like, you see the $3,000 that in drawdown and you're like, oh yeah, but it's only $150 that I'm risking, right? And it's so tough. Or like if you're on eval too, when you're on an eval and it's like Apex is doing those like 90% off deals, it's like, it's only $15. Might as well get a little silly for it. But that really enforces like really bad discipline as well. And that does eventually leak over into like your real trading too. So it's just about like being like, hey, it is easy to make a lot of money really fast, but also that's just gambling as well. It's easy to go to the casino and put 500 down on blackjack because, you know, the odds are, you know, whatever the odds are, right? It's just as easy to go to the casino and do that as it is to trade with too much size here on NQ. You have a little bit of an edge, just like you might have counting cards in blackjack, but at the end of the day, you're still going to take losses, and those losses need to mathematically make sense with how many losses your account can take. So trading with that smaller size and really taking your time, it essentially, it brings your edge to like 90 to 100%, because you're eliminating the fact of you walking away from the table empty-handed. You're able to essentially sit there at the table and continue playing and continue counting the cards down to the end of the deck to where you can really take advantage of them. So yeah, using that smaller size, it just makes it makes the probability of success go up exponentially. And if I told you you had to wait 2 years, but you had 100% chance of becoming a full-time trader, would you take that over having a 5% chance of becoming a full-time trader in the next month, or losing thousands of dollars? You know, like that's the thing. You could spend hardly no money, wait 2 years and have your whole empire, or you could risk it all and have no money and no empire in like a month and have to completely restart. Brian just says, I know I'm a little drunk when I tried to scroll and zoom in on the chart that you're screaming. Here, we should probably zoom in for NQ4 Brian anyway, because I know he likes to trade zoomed in. Here you go, Brian. My bad. That is funny. Wesley says strict stop losses are crucial on small accounts. And it really is. Like, you can't get away with losing a third of your account in one day. Like, it just you when you lose a third, you're essentially limiting yourself to 3 losing days, which you're going to have way more of those a month. Like, losing days are going to happen. I lost, especially when people only allow themselves maybe 3 or 4 losing trades. That's the stuff that really drives me crazy on those funded accounts. Like, today I had 4 or 5 losing trades in a row. I still had a green day because my green trades still made up for those losses. But I mean, you're going to have those downtimes where you're going to do everything correct and you're going to have the appropriate risk, everything. You're still going to get stopped because the market is like an asshole. Like, it doesn't care that you're doing everything right. Sometimes it's just going to do the most crazy shit. So you just need to be prepared to accept that risk and take those losses. Like today, for example, my shorts that I took, let's pull up my, let's go to my journal here. Let's go to my journal. So if we scroll down to accountability, go down to Goose and scroll up. Let's pull up my browser. So this was my, I guess I could just pull up my trade viz. I'm so silly. I'm such a silly goose. I don't need to pull up the screenshot. I just pull up my actual trade viz. Okay, so let's see. This is, we want this month. So this month so far, this is my calendar. We need to go to trades table. All right, so like today, I was trading really, really light leverage because I really wanted to swing long, but like the YM candles were like 50 points per candle. So it was really, really tough to like get into a position. So I was just trading really, really light, had really wide stops. And I was like, we're for sure not getting stopped on this. Like, I got my stops below my invalidation zone. Like, we're going to be okay. I like this long here. And we ended up getting stopped on like 4 attempts. We did have one short that also got stopped. So it was like, great. Like, we were just really, really wrong, like kind of all morning. And then finally things worked in our favor, but I wouldn't have gotten this nice string of winners towards the end of the day, mid to end of the day, if these losers were of too much size or too much risk, right? If like that was like the main thing. I even went in today and like said in like my morning breakdown in the verified chat, like, I'm not biased, but I wanted longs and I'm not going to be able to trade with full size because like the risk was like going to be too high. And I said this like in my review as well. Like, had I traded full size today, which is typically 1 to 2 YM, had I traded that full size, I would 100% would have ended today red, and I never would have had this chance here because these trades, which were good trades, these were good setups that I liked. And I would have taken these on full size as well. The stops would have been way tighter and I would have hit my personal daily loss limit and never would have got the chance to have this. And while, yeah, obviously it would have been better to just hit these trades with full size, I didn't. I liked these setups here, but wouldn't have had the chance to hit these because I would have walked away for the day because I would have been too red. Yeah, hold these trades. Well, we had runners, right? So like the core was off pretty quick on these. But I would hold one contract just for essentially forever. Like you see, I longed. It says total volume is 12, but this wasn't actually 12. I think that's the executions. But that's $437 on MYM, just a few MYM. And especially when it's MYM2, it's pretty easy to hold because you're not looking at that much profit at once either. Psychologically, it's like, oh yeah, it's only $50, 100 points in your favor, but it's only $50. So it makes it way easier to hold for like a longer time as well. But yeah, I had to survive that down period to be able to see that green period. And like I said, normally a day like this, where I'm right directionally but wrong on execution, I would have ended the day red and been upset that I knew the overall direction but was wrong about the execution. Or today, I was able to be wrong about the initial execution and still right on the overall direction and also in the day green. So while it's not a massive green day, even though I knew the long was coming, it's still a green day, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not like super red from, just being too oversized. So that's very, very, very happy with how I executed today, because a day like this definitely would have been pretty tough. And even like last month too. So let's look at February. So this is February right here, right? Yeah, February. So February was actually, it doesn't look like it here, but this was actually a really, really tough month. I did hit some good trades, but I feel like they were a lot of like base hits, and I got very, very few like actually really good running trades. Still ended up being a really fantastic month. Took some pretty decent sized losers, but our winners still paid for our losers. Yeah, ended up being like okay month, really like sized back, and that's coming off of January, which January was let's do this year. Let's look at January. January was like set the year up to where like we're sitting pretty good. January was a fantastic month, but we definitely like overtraded a little bit in January, where we got like a little bit too aggressive and we got a little out of hand like the last week. But this was like this 2-week period right here was the development of the Gizzy Clipper. As I started taking trades using the Gizzy Clipper specifically and getting that all dialed in on different time frames. But then once we got it dialed in, you can see we maybe traded a little bit too aggressively. I scaled back a little bit and was like, hey, this isn't sustainable what we were doing. The market conditions were really good because we weren't that volatile right here. February, we got a lot more volatile. We were really range bound these 2 weeks. These are when we were kind of grinding those all-time highs, which made it fantastic Gizzy Clipper weather. And we definitely took advantage of it, and that was nice, but we had to scale back because, like I said, it wasn't sustainable, and like the current market conditions will not allow for this type of trading to happen. It just is, the quality of Glizzies is down just because the volatility is so high. We need non-volatile conditions to be able to trade that aggressively. So yeah, but January was really nice, and like this is why we like to tread water for months at a time, because if you tread water and you don't dig yourself a hole, you can catch really nice Januaries like this. So that's pretty much been the year so far. I wonder if we can organize these by P&L. I'd like to see my biggest losses so far this year. Yeah, that was our stop that we took on our runners on Ellie. That one hurt. That one made me sad. But we were still up, I think like $8,000 on the initial core position. So like it still ended up being this was still overall a profitable trade right here. But this was, like I said, this is the runners right here that ended up getting stopped. So that was a bummer. But we'll see. Wes, thank you for stopping in. If you guys don't know, Wesley streams every morning, so go peep his YouTube channel as well. He's a very entertaining sir to watch. So go give him a sub. But yeah, I'm probably gonna get off here soon. I just kind of wanted to review a little bit of what my losses were here, which honestly they're not, outside of the big loss that we took on cattle with our runners. Like the rest of the losses are honestly not too bad. We have a couple like 400 to 500 ones, but a majority of these are actually a lot better than I thought. So that's actually pretty nice to see. Ah, shit. Yeah, it's midnight my time. So, and then our winners are pretty good too. So we've had some pretty good winners as well. So, hmm. Yeah, I was really happy looking at those losses. I've done a good job at keeping them small compared to normal. I mean, eventually we're gonna have some bigger losses, right? But honestly, I'm not too bummed on how that looks. I was actually that's a little bit surprising. And then you look at the larger side of the winners too. This has been a this is mostly coming from January when we were catching a lot of bangers. And also these are all copy traded on Apex too, so of course they look a little bit bigger. When you see the 40 executions, that's just because we're taking uh um one contract times 20 accounts, right? So that's why it looks so much bigger. Alyssa says, is TradeViz like TradeZilla? It's almost like exactly the same thing. So I just set up my custom dashboards, but TradeViz is almost exactly the same as TradeZilla, except I think TradeViz is cheaper. But I mean, the features and stuff are all almost exactly the same. You can do a whole bunch here. You can look at your overall statistics, um, your profit loss charts, all this stuff. Again, I'm not affiliated by these guys. I just use them. The guy that's in our Discord, Anal Elite, he actually is the CEO of TradeViz. This is not like selling it. He created it. He's our guy. Is the free version dog water? I've never actually used the free version. This is the paid version. I have the platinum version or whatever the high version is. It's like $100 a year for it, whatever that one is. I don't want to dox myself, so I guess I won't pull that up because I think it says my address and stuff. But I got whatever you just wait till they run like deals or whatever and just get the yearly sub for like $100 a year. Definitely kind of worth it. If you're trading a lot of prop firm accounts like me and also your personal accounts and want to have everything lumped into one, it's really, really nice because I'm able to keep track of everything I do all in one spot. Whereas before I had like a bunch of stuff in Excel and everywhere else. And I was like, oh gosh, like, I don't know. Like, I made money in Apex today, but I traded my personal account yesterday and I have a swing going on my other Trade Evade account. And I have a Top Step account that I traded 2 weeks ago. And like, you lose track of like what all you're doing. Whereas this just keeps everything consolidated on like one spot, which is the main reason I did it, because I was doing it all manually. And when you're doing all that stuff manually, it is such a pain in the butt that you end up getting lazy and then like skipping days. And then like you skip like 2 days and it's like, oh my gosh, like now I'm so far behind. I don't even want to do it. And then you just end up not doing it altogether. So this makes it a lot easier and makes keeping track of all that stuff like way, way, way better. So I recommend it. But like I said, if you have just one account, like you're just trading one personal account on like Trade Evade or whatever, you probably don't need it because you can just, I'm sure your platform will show you all that stuff for you because of the one account. But when you have a lot of accounts, it's really nice to have all that consolidated in one spot. But guys, it is midnight my time. We have 16 viewers. We're doing great. Maybe I should randomly stream at night more often. Yeah, Fletcher says so. Basically, you can get the premium version. Andy can make $11,160 on Sunday nights. Yes. Oh yeah, that was a good night. Exploring day. So I think we were copy trading that day. I wish it would show more. Oh, there we go. That's what we did that Sunday night. It was copy traded, right? So we had like more using the 20 Apex accounts. But yeah, that was a really good night. Big fan of that night. Alyssa, thank you for joining our random once a year stream. um, uh, yeah, totally random night for us to decide to stream, but thank you for joining. Make sure you join the Discord below because like we hang out there every day, and honestly, we all hang out in like voice chat a lot in the Discord, and I ended up doing that more and just like talking in Discord than I did the YouTube channel because it was easier to interact with people versus just reading chat. And plus, you know, other people can talk. You get more of a discourse going. It's a lot better. So like I kind of stopped streaming just because like I just was enjoyed talking to my friends that we met all on YouTube, but I enjoyed talking to everyone just in Discord more. So we hang out in Discord a lot. So be sure to join that. Link is below. It's free. It's free. The link is in the description below. So if wherever I don't even have the stream pulled up right now, but if you go to the link, should be right there. But yeah, I think I'm going to go to bed, guys. It's midnight my time. I gotta wake up and trade tomorrow. Maybe we don't wake up and trade tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see. It's gonna be Thursday. I like Thursdays normally. But yeah, I'm gonna go to bed. So thank you all for tuning in. Maybe in another 11 months we'll do a stream. Maybe next week we'll do a stream. I don't know. But this was definitely fun. Thank you all for hanging out. It was fun talking to all you guys. And yeah, we'll see you guys all whenever.